A cruise isn't just a fun vacation. When you take a repositioning cruise, it becomes a one-way, all-inclusive, jet lag-free way to cross an ocean to your next destination. Our family of 4 used a repositioning cruise to sail from Seattle to Tokyo. After 14 nights at sea, we arrived at our destination, ready for our next adventure and ready for future cruising trips. In this video, we will share 6 of the things that we loved about our first repositioning cruise. We are the learners and makers. We've been traveling as a family of 4 since 2022. We empower families and people with mobility disabilities to travel confidently their way.
But first, what is a repositioning cruise? Here's a quick rundown. Throughout the year, cruise lines have to move ships from one region to the other. That could be for seasonal times of the year, such as moving ships from the Mediterranean to the Caribbean. Our ship was heading from the USA to Singapore for some maintenance. When ships make these big location changes, they still have to go from point A to point B. Since the ship is changing its main position from one location to another, these are often referred to as repositioning cruises. A repositioning cruise is the same ship, same crew, same activities, amenities as a regular round-trip cruise. Often you can find great deals on repositioning cruises. Sometimes they have fewer passengers, but they have been getting more popular. The main consideration is your return or onward travel. Since repositioning cruises don't return to their starting point, you'll need to make onward travel arrangements from where the ship arrives. Any other questions about what a repositioning cruise is? Ask us in the comments. Now, let's talk about the 6 things our family enjoyed about a repositioning cruise.
1. Take a break from normal household chores, such as cooking and cleaning.
Drudgery.
Take a break from that task. Booking your cruise means that you'll have a cabin, meals, some basic drinks, and mini activities all included in the fare. That does vary some cruise line to cruise line, so check your cruise, but most of the time that's what it is. Other nice part, your cruise vacation is a break from day-to-day tasks such as cooking and cleaning. We use this not only as a chance to relax and recharge, we explored new foods that were included both in the buffet and in our dinner main dining hall.
2. Cross the ocean and arrive fresh, energetic, and free from jet lag. We've crossed oceans a few times. While we do okay managing jet lag, it's nice to skip it altogether. Instead of a 14-hour flight from the USA, where we arrived groggy and jet-lagged in Japan, we changed time zones gradually during our cruise. There's still some adjustment though. For the first 8 days, we woke each morning in a new time zone. Fortunately, our cruise line's app helped us stay on ship time. We still had some adjustment day to day, but it was much easier than having to adjust 14 hours all at once. Instead, we arrived in the morning, ready to get settled into enjoying travels in Japan.
3. The kids could independently and safely explore the ship and engage in age-appropriate activities. The family friendliness of cruise lines varies. Some sailings are adults only. Many lines, though, want to appeal to families. We sailed on Royal Caribbean. They have been pioneering cruise ship kid friendliness since the 1990s. Our kids were 9 and 12 years old at the time of our sailing, and since each of us has our own sea pass or card key, we could come and go from our room as we pleased. We talked over ground rules, such as not going into anyone else's cabin, and also how to identify crew members and officers if the kids needed help. Aster would often go to the kids center Adventure Ocean in the morning for activities. Our son Connor all but lived in the teen center known as the living room, which was only for 12 to 17-year-olds. The kids knew that they could go to any of the decks and take advantage of the included food such as hot dogs, pizza, soft serve ice cream, and more. For us, this meant they could work on their independence. They also met kids their own ages, and Connor, for example, made friends that he's still in touch with today. And the number of problems and safety concerns we had with either child, 0.
4. The variety of included onboard activities and entertainment helped us do what we wanted. Musical performances, dance shows, acrobatics, magic, comedy, informative presentations, those are just a few of the activities we took part of individually or as a family. Every cruise line offers entertainment. Repositioning cruises are no different. Throughout the day and night, we could head just about anywhere on the ship and find something to do when we wanted to.
5. We got new perspectives during mealtime conversations with people from all over the world. Especially during the breakfast buffet, we often found ourselves at shared tables. These encounters led to engaging conversations with people from all over the world, such as the 2 women who had moved years ago from Hong Kong to Toronto. They liked to use the sailing to go to Tokyo and then fly to Hong Kong or other parts of Asia that they wanted to visit. 2 other people were a couple from Japan. They'd been living in Mexico, but were now moving back to Japan. And another person was from North Carolina, and her cruise time in Japan were a trip she'd been looking forward to for years. We adults got so much out of these morning conversations, and sometimes the kids were around too, and they got to take in stories from other people, broadening their perspectives from around the world.
6. Sea days gave us more time to relax on board. Instead of days in port and nights sailing, most of our cruise was sailing. Only during the last few days were there any port opportunities. Personally, we enjoyed simply being on the water and having more time to relax on board. And when there were port days, we stayed on board. Many paid activities were free on port days, plus we practically had the ship to ourselves. We could sit wherever we wanted, and there were no lines at the buffet.
The cruise wasn't just the vacation. When we finished the cruise, we began another part of our travels, and most cruises are round trip, and you start and finish in the same spot. On a repositioning cruise, you can indeed finish the cruise and fly straight home, which was a lot of people did that from our ship. Or your repositioning cruise can be what takes you from one region of the world to another. And for us, we went from the US to Japan. Instead of the end of our cruise being the end of our trip, it was just the start of a major new part of our family world travels. We hope our 6 tips about repositioning cruises have been helpful to you and your travel plans. If you haven't already, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tell others about Learners and Makers.
Repositioning cruises are now going to be something we look into anytime we're changing regions. What do you think? Would you want to take a repositioning cruise? Tell us in the comments, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.